To go on narrative now, them say our Prime Minister in Jamaica, they sign off on the bill. Sign off the book, the contract where him sign off violate human rights because I think them say them want to lock down on freedom of speech also. And them double standard and decimal in a school. You dig what me I say? I remember in Obama's Prime Minister running me and said no, and he was inspired by the songs of our reggae artist, Buju Banton. And you know what I mean? So I don't know how our Prime Minister do that to the country. But all I know the Prime Minister only can sign something for him and for him family. Because the people them did not sign that petition. So the people have to unite, come together and take them to court. Them violate international human rights. Yeah. So not to worry, but them do what them want to do, you know. Because them see I'm not going to get in a trouble, though. You know, so I start 9:30 every morning, but I just come on from early out, come. You know what I mean? Like and share and you know the thing go. Well, we're going to study the Maccabee today, the book where enough people it got a prison for. Enough people them send a prison for the back at the Maccabee book back in them days. If police catch you with it, you get locked up. Why would it banned from the Bible and not only banned from the Bible? See? Why would police lock up people for a book like this? Why speak knowledge and not teach people the truth? You know if you remember, you know. Back in the days when they used to lock up people for the Maccabees, well, the truth shall reveal now and every truth are revealed. The only thing them can do now align themselves to it, because them can't say they own the book and them write the book, you know. Because when it a hit when you used to lock you up for blessed love and light. You dig what I say? So we are going to Maccabees, you know. Who catch you.
Alexander, son of Philip the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chetim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece, and made many wars, and won
the
first.
What is? Come on, man. Come on. Don't play with this thing. Don't play this thing.
Book of the Maccabees.
Chapter 1. Maccabees, you are going
and it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chetim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece, and made many wars, and won many strongholds, and slew the kings of the earth, and went through to the ends of the earth, and took spoils of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him. Whereupon he was exalted, and his heart was lifted up. And he gathered a mighty strong host, and ruled over countries and nations and kings, who became tributaries unto him. And after these things he fell sick, and perceived that he should die. Wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable, and had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdom among them, while he was yet alive. So Alexander reigned 12 years, and then died. And his servants...
Don't remember, you know, is Alexander is the one responsible for the cross, you know. See, Alexander is the one who win the war in the name of Jesus Christ. That's why Jesus Christ is powerful through the earth. Because the master theme God give him power to win the war. That are the last world war, the most important war of the world in to conquer the world in religion. Before the book was signed and sealed. So they might tell you,
bear rule, every one in his place. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years. And evils were multiplied in the earth. And there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been an hostage at Rome. And he reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, Let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. So this device pleased them well. Then certain of the people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen. Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem according to the customs of the heathen, and made themselves uncircumcised, and forsook the holy covenant, and joined themselves to the heathen, and were sold to do mischief. Now when the kingdom was established before Antiochus, he thought to reign over Egypt, that he might have the dominion of 2 realms. Wherefore he entered into Egypt with a great multitude, with chariots and elephants and horsemen, and a great navy, and made war against Ptolemy, king of Egypt. But Ptolemy was afraid of him and fled, and many were wounded to death. Thus they got the strong cities in the land of Egypt, and took the spoils thereof. And after that Antiochus had smitten Egypt, he returned again in the 143rd year, and went up against Israel and Jerusalem with a great multitude, and entered proudly into the sanctuary, and took away the golden altar, and the candlestick of light, and all the vessels thereof, and the table of the showbread, and the pouring vessels, and the vials, and the censers of gold, and the veil, and the crown, and the golden ornaments that were before the temple, all which he pulled off. He took also the silver and the gold, and the precious vessels. Also he took the hidden treasures which he found. And when he had taken all away, he went into his own land, having made a great massacre, and spoken very proudly. Therefore there was a great mourning in Israel, in every place where they were, so that the princes and elders mourned. The virgins and the young men were made feeble, and the beauty of women was changed. Every bridegroom took up lamentation, and she that sat in the marriage chamber was in heaviness. The land also was moved for the inhabitants thereof, and all the house of Jacob was covered with confusion. And after 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chief collector of tribute unto the cities of Judah, who came unto Jerusalem with a great multitude, and spake peaceable words unto them. But all was deceit. For when they had given him credence, he fell suddenly upon the city, and smote it very sore, and destroyed much people of Israel. And when he had taken the spoils of the city, he set it on fire, and pulled down the houses and walls thereof on every side. But the women and children took they captive, and possessed the cattle. Then builded they the city of David with a great and strong wall, and with mighty towers, and made it a stronghold for them. And they put therein a sinful nation, wicked men, and fortified themselves therein. They stored it also with armor and victuals. And when they had gathered together the spoils of Jerusalem, they laid them up there. And so they became a sore snare. For it was a place to lie in wait against the sanctuary, and an evil adversary to Israel. Thus they shed innocent blood on every side of the sanctuary, and defiled it, insomuch that the inhabitants of Jerusalem fled because of them, whereupon the city was made an habitation of strangers, and became strange to those that were born in her, and her own children left her. Her sanctuary was laid waste like a wilderness. Her feasts were turned into mourning, her Sabbaths into reproach, her honor into contempt. As had been her glory, so was her dishonor increased, and her excellency was turned into mourning. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, and every one should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion, and sacrificed unto idols, and profaned the Sabbath. For the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land, and forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings.
Burn down the temple them and I say a long time them I try that, you know. They try by brute force burn down the temple of God, and I say them for praise him and a female. But you know go and listen, that's why people still go to prison for that book, yeah. They don't want to hear the truth.
In the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days, and pollute the sanctuary and holy people, set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts, that they should also leave their children uncircumcised, and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation, to the end they might forget the law, and change all the ordinances. And whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said, he should die. In the selfsame manner wrote he to his whole kingdom, and appointed overseers over all the people, commanding the cities of Judah to sacrifice, city by city. Then many of the people were gathered unto them, to wit, every one that forsook the law. And so they committed evils in the land, and drove the Israelites into secret places, even wheresoever they could flee for succor. Now, the 15th day of the month Caslu, in the 145th year, they set up the abomination of desolation upon the altar, and builded idol altars throughout the cities of Judah on every side, and burnt incense at the doors of their houses and in the streets. And when they had rent in pieces the books of the law which they found, they burnt them with fire. And whosoever was found with any the book of the testament, or if any committed to the law, the king's commandment was that they should put him to death. Thus did they, by their authority, unto the Israelites every month, to as many as were found in the cities. Now, the 25th day of the month, they did sacrifice upon the idol altar, which was upon the altar of God. At which time, according to the commandment, they put to death certain women that had caused their children to be circumcised. And they hanged the infants about their necks, and rifled their houses, and slew them that had circumcised them. Howbeit, many in Israel were fully resolved and confirmed in themselves not to eat any unclean thing. Wherefore, the rather to die, that they might not be defiled with meats, and that they might not profane the holy covenant. So then they died. And there was very great wrath upon Israel.
Want a mode for everything? GMC Terrain. Just in time for the holidays.
Before then defile them soul.
Chapter 2. In those days arose Mattathias, the son of John, the son of Simeon, a priest of the sons of Jorib, from Jerusalem, and dwelt in Modin. And he had 5 sons, Johanan called Caddis, Simon called Thassi, Judas, who was called Maccabeus, Eleazar called Avaran, and Jonathan, whose surname was
Remember me that telling me about Judas? So Judas saved the Ark of the Covenant, and Judas restored back tabernacles and temples and tabernacles to people praise to God. And you want to do with Judas another time as a Jews has crucified Jesus. If we hate the man, you know, we save the Almighty God tabernacle on earth, you know. You know, listen. That's why them did a lot of people for the Bible, because they want to, Judas take it to them, and that's why they hate Judas. Listen.
And when he saw the blasphemies that were committed in Judah and Jerusalem, he said, Woe is me! Wherefore was I born to see this misery of my people and of the holy city, and to dwell there, when it was delivered into the hand of the enemy, and the sanctuary into the hand of strangers? Her temple is become as a man without glory. Her glorious vessels are carried away into captivity. Her infants are slain in the streets, her young men with the sword of the enemy. What nation hath not had a part in her kingdom, and gotten of her spoils? All her ornaments are taken away. Of a free woman she is become a bondslave. And behold, our sanctuary, even our beauty and our glory, is laid waste, and the Gentiles have profaned it. To what end therefore shall we live any longer? Then Mattathias and his sons rent their clothes, and put on sackcloth, and mourned very sore. In the meanwhile, the king's officers, such as compelled the people to revolt, came into the city of Modin to make them sacrifice. And when many of Israel came unto them, Mattathias also and his sons came together. Then answered the king's officers and said to Mattathias on this wise, Thou art a ruler, and an honorable and great man in this city, and strengthened with sons and brethren. Now therefore, come thou first, and fulfill the king's commandment, like as all the heathen have done, yea, and the men of Judah also, and such as remain at Jerusalem. So shalt thou and thy house be in the number of the king's friends, and thou and thy children shall be honored with silver and gold, and many rewards.
Give thanks.
Then Mattathias answered and spake with a loud voice, Though all the nations that are under the king's dominion obey him, and fall away every one from the religion of their fathers, and give consent to his commandments, yet will I and my sons and my brethren walk in the covenant of our fathers. God forbid that we should forsake the law and the ordinances. We will not hearken to the king's words to go from and slew him upon the altar. Also the king's commissioner who compelled men to sacrifice, he killed at that time, and the altar he pulled down. Thus dealt he zealously for the law of God, like as Phinehas did unto Zambri, the son of Salom. And Mattathias cried throughout the city with a loud voice, saying, Whosoever is zealous of the law, and maintaineth the covenant, let him follow me. So he and his sons fled into the mountains, and left all that ever they had in the city. Then many that sought after justice and judgment went down into the wilderness to dwell there, both they and their children and their wives and their cattle, because afflictions increased sore upon them. Now when it was told the king's servants and the host that was at Jerusalem in the city of David, that certain men who had broken the king's commandment were gone down into the secret places in the wilderness, they pursued after them with a great number, and having overtaken them, they camped against them, and made war against them on the Sabbath day. And they said unto them, Let that which ye have done hitherto suffice. Come forth, and do according to the commandment of the king, and ye shall live. But they said, We will not come forth, neither will we do the king's commandment to profane the Sabbath day. So then they gave them the battle with all speed. Howbeit they answered them not, neither cast they a stone at them, nor stopped the places where they lay hid, but said, Let us die in our innocency. Heaven and earth will testify for us, that ye put us to death wrongfully. So they rose up against them in battle on the Sabbath, and they slew them, with their wives and children and their cattle, to the number of 1,000 people. Now when Mattathias and his friends understood hereof, they mourned for them right sore. And one of them said to another, If we all do as our brethren have done, and fight not for our lives and laws against the heathen, they will now quickly root us out of the earth. At that time therefore they decreed, saying, Whosoever shall come to make battle with us on the Sabbath day, we will fight against him, neither will we die all as our brethren that were murdered in the secret places. Then came there unto him a company of Assyrians, who were mighty men of Israel, even all such as were voluntary devoted unto the law. Also all that fled for persecution joined themselves unto them, and were a stay unto them. So they joined their forces, and smote sinful men in their anger, and wicked men in their wrath. But the rest fled to the heathen for succor. Then Mattathias and his friends went round about, and pulled down the altars, and what children soever they found within the coast of Israel uncircumcised, those they circumcised valiantly. They pursued also after the proud men, and the work prospered in their hand. So they recovered the law out of the hand of the Gentiles, and out of the hand of kings, neither suffered they the sinner to triumph. Now, when the time drew near that Mattathias should die, he said unto his sons, Now hath pride and rebuke gotten strength, and the time of destruction, and the wrath of indignation. Now therefore, my sons, be ye zealous for the law, and give your lives for the covenant of your fathers. Call to remembrance what acts our fathers did in their time. So shall ye receive great honor and an everlasting name. Was not Abraham found faithful in temptation, and it was imputed unto him for righteousness? Joseph, in the time of his distress, kept the commandment, and was made Lord of Egypt. Phinehas, our father, in being zealous and fervent, obtained the covenant of an everlasting priesthood. Jesus, for fulfilling the word, was made a judge in Israel. Caleb, for bearing witness before the congregation, received the heritage of the land. David, for being merciful, possessed the throne of an everlasting kingdom. Elias, for being zealous and fervent for the law, was taken up to heaven. Ananias, Azarias, and Misael, by believing, was saved out of the flame. Daniel, for his innocency, was delivered from the mouth of lions. And thus consider ye throughout all ages, that none that put their trust in him shall be overcome. Fear not then the words of a sinful man, for his glory shall be dung and worms. Today he shall be lifted up, and tomorrow he shall not be found, because he is returned into his dust, and his thought is come to nothing. Wherefore, ye my sons, be valiant, and show yourselves men in the behalf of the law, for by it shall ye obtain glory. And behold, I know that your brother Simon is a man of counsel. Give ear unto him alway. He shall be a father unto you. As for Judas Maccabeus, he hath been mighty and strong even from his youth up. Let him be your captain, and fight the battle of the people. Take also unto you all those that observe the law, and avenge ye the wrong of your people. Recompense fully the heathen, and take heed to the commandments of the law. So he blessed them, and was gathered to his fathers. And he died in the 146th year, and his sons buried him in the sepulchres of his fathers at Modin. And all Israel made great lamentation for him.
Yeah, man. So, I don't know why them there lock up people to this book. Maccabee. Because them don't want to know the truth.
Chapter 3. Then his son Judas, called Maccabeus, rose up in his stead. And all his brethren helped him, and so did all they that held with his father. And they fought with cheerfulness the battle of Israel. So he gat his people great honor, and put on a breastplate as a giant, and girt his warlike harness about him, and he made battles, protecting the host with his sword. In his axe he was like a lion, and like a lion's whelp, roaring for his prey. For he pursued the wicked, and sought them out, and burnt up those that vexed his people. Wherefore the wicked shrunk for fear of him, and all the workers of iniquity were troubled, because salvation prospered in his hand. He grieved also many kings, and made Jacob glad with his acts, and his memorial is blessed forever. Moreover, he went through the cities of Judah, destroying the ungodly out of them, and turning away wrath from Israel. So that he was renowned unto the utmost part of the earth, and received unto him such as were ready to perish. Then Apollonius gathered the Gentiles together, and a great host out of Samaria, to fight against Israel, which thing, when Judas perceived, he went forth to meet him. And so he smote him, and slew him. Many also fell down slain, but the rest fled. Wherefore Judas took their spoils, and Apollonius' sword also, wherewith he fought all his life long. Now, when Seren, a prince of the army of Syria, heard say that Judas had gathered unto him a multitude and company of the faithful to go out with him to war, he said, I will get me a name and honor in the kingdom. For I will go fight with Judas and them that are with him, who despise the king's commandment. So he made him ready to go up. And there went with him a mighty host of the ungodly to help him, and to be avenged of the children of Israel. And when he came near to the going up of Bethoron, Judas went forth to meet him with a small company, who, when they saw the host coming to meet them, said unto Judas, How shall we be able, being so few, to fight against so great a multitude and so strong, seeing we are ready to faint with fasting all this day? Unto whom Judas answered, It is no hard matter for many to be shut up in the hands of a few. And with the God of heaven it is all one, to deliver with a great multitude or a small company. For the victory of battle standeth not in the multitude of an host, but strength cometh from heaven. They that come up against us in much pride and iniquity to destroy us and our wives and our children, and to spoil us. But we fight for our lives and our laws. Wherefore the Lord himself will overthrow them before our face. And as for you, be ye not afraid of them. Now, as soon as he had left off speaking, he leapt suddenly upon them. And so Saron and his host were overthrown before him. And they pursued them from the going down of Bethoron unto the plain, where were slain about 800 men of them. And the residue fled into the land of the Philistines. Then began the fear of Judas and his brethren, and an exceeding...
That may I tell you, say, that's why they don't want you read Maccabee, and that's why they used to lock up anybody who read it. Judas is the man who will restore the temple them and the sanctuary them on earth. After the devil and in legion them did a burn down every tabernacle, defile the temple them. So that's why them bore a hole in a Judas' reputation and use the wisdom them to kill him by telling you that him betrayed the Son of God. But then them never know where to find the truth. I fear Judas. That's why they use him name. That's so. Because Judas are one of them who take it to Babylon. Wicked. Judas slew them like dogs, my lord. You dig what me I say? So that's why I study the Maccabee, you know, for show on the sound of seek and everything on the ear and of take. The Bible was translated and rewritten, but without the spirit of truth and knowledge, we misled. You dig what me I say? Because we are not Christians. See, we are children of the Almighty God and the Almighty Goddess. We are gods and we are goddess. We are not Christians. Christians are those boys who burn down the tabernacle and murder the children of God. You understand what I say? So you cannot blame this church. It's heads and states and churches is owned by the Pope. So everybody, if you go in there, is Christians, it's true. But we are not Christians. And my forefathers, them are not Christians, they are tricked. Give thanks to our forefathers and bring it out and grow it. But we have to know the fullness of the truth. That Judas beat Babylon wicked.
Great dread to fall upon the nations round about them, insomuch as his fame came unto the king, and all nations talked of the battles of Judas. Now when King Antiochus heard these things, he was full of indignation. Wherefore he sent and gathered together all the forces of his realm, even a very strong army. He opened also his treasure, and gave his soldiers pay for a year, commanding them to be ready whensoever he should need them. Nevertheless, when he saw that the money of his treasures failed, and that the tributes in the country were small because of the dissension and plague which he had brought upon the land, in taking away the laws which had been of old time, he feared that he should not be able to bear the charges any longer, nor to have such gifts to give so liberally as he did before. For he had abounded above the kings that were before him. Wherefore, being greatly perplexed in his mind, he determined to go into Persia, there to take the tributes of the countries, and to gather much money. So he left Lysias, a nobleman, and one of the blood royal, to oversee the affairs of the king from the river Euphrates unto the borders of Egypt, and to bring up his son Antiochus until he came again. Moreover, he delivered unto him the half of his forces and the elephants, and gave him charge of all things that he would have done, as also concerning them that dwelt in Judah and Jerusalem, to wit that he should send an army against them, to destroy and root out the strength of Israel and the remnant of Jerusalem, and to take away their memorial from that place, and that he should place strangers in all their quarters, and divide their land by lot. So the king took the half of the forces that remained, and departed from Antioch, his royal city, the 147th year. And having passed the river Euphrates, he went through the high countries. Then Lysias chose Ptolemy, the son of Dorymenes, Nicanor, and Gorgias, mighty men of the king's friends. And with them he sent 40,000 footmen and 7,000 horsemen to go into the land of Judah and to destroy it, as the king commanded. So they went forth with all their power, and came and pitched by Emmaus in the plain country. And the merchants of the country, hearing the fame of them, took silver and gold very much, with servants, and came into the camp to buy the children of Israel for slaves. A power also of Syria and of the land of the Philistines joined themselves unto them. Now when Judas and his brethren saw that the miseries were multiplied, and that the forces did encamp themselves in their borders, for they knew how the king had given commandment to destroy the people and utterly abolish them, they said one to another, Let us restore the decayed fortune of our people, and let us fight for our people and the sanctuary. Then was the congregation gathered together, that they might be ready for battle, and that they might pray and ask mercy and compassion. Now Jerusalem lay void as a wilderness. There was none of her children that went in or out. The sanctuary also was trodden down. Aliens kept the stronghold. The heathen had their habitation in that place, and joy was taken from Jacob, and the pipe with the harp ceased. Wherefore the Israelites assembled themselves together, and came to Maspha over against Jerusalem, for in Maspha was the place where they prayed aforetime in Israel. Then they fasted on that day, and put on sackcloth, and cast ashes upon their heads, and rent their clothes, and laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images. They brought also the priest's garments, and the firstfruits, and the tithes, and the Nazarites they stirred up, who had accomplished their days. Then cried they with a loud voice toward heaven, saying, What shall we do with these? And whither shall we carry them away? For thy sanctuary is trodden down and profaned, and thy priests are in heaviness and brought low. And lo, the heathen are assembled together against us to destroy us. What things they imagine against us, thou knowest. How shall we be able to stand against them? Except thou, O God, be our help. Then sounded they with trumpets, and cried with a loud voice. And after this, Judas ordained captains over the people, even captains over thousands, and over hundreds, and over 50s, and over 10s. But as for such as were building houses, or had betrothed wives, or were planting vineyards, or were fearful, those he commanded that they should return, every man to his own house, according to the law. So the camp removed, and pitched upon the south side of Emmaus. And Judas said, Arm yourselves, and be valiant men, and see that ye be in readiness against the morning, that ye may fight with these nations that are assembled together against us to destroy us and our sanctuary. For it is better for us to die in battle than to behold the calamities of our people and our sanctuary. Nevertheless, as the will of God is in heaven, so let him do. Chapter 4. Then took Gorgias 5,000 footmen, and 1,000 of the best horsemen, and removed out of the camp by night, to the end that he might rush in upon the camp of the Jews and smite them suddenly. And the men of the fortress were his guides. Now when Judas heard thereof, he himself removed, and the valiant men with him, that he might smite the king's army, which was at Emmaus, while as yet the forces were dispersed from the camp. In the mean season came Gorgias by night into the camp of Judas, and when he found no man there, he sought them in the mountains, for, said he, these fellows flee from us. But as soon as it was day, Judas showed himself in the plain with 3,000 men, who nevertheless had neither armor nor swords to their minds. And they saw the camp of the heathen, that it was strong and well harnessed, and compassed round about with horsemen, and these were expert of war. Then said Judas to the men that were with him, Fear ye not their multitude, neither be ye afraid of their assault. Remember how our fathers were delivered in the Red Sea, when Pharaoh pursued them with an army. Now therefore, let us cry unto heaven, if peradventure the Lord will have mercy upon us, and remember the covenant of our fathers, and destroy this host before our face this day, that so all the heathen may know that there is one who delivereth and saveth Israel. Then the strangers lifted up their eyes, and saw them coming over against them. Wherefore they went out of the camp to battle. But they that were with Judas sounded their trumpets. So they joined battle, and the heathen, being discomfited, fled into the plain. Howbeit all the hindmost of them were slain with the sword, for they pursued them unto Gazara, and into the plains of Idumea, and Azotus, and Jamnia, so that there was slain of them upon 3,000 men. This done, Judas returned again with his host from pursuing them, and he said to the people, Be not greedy of the spoil, inasmuch as there is a battle before us, and Gorgias and his host are here by us in the mountain. But stand ye now against our enemies, and overcome them, and after this ye may boldly take the spoils. As Judas was yet speaking these words, there answered a part of them, looking out of the mountain, who, when they perceived that the Jews had put their host to flight, and were burning the tents, for the smoke that was seen declared what was done. When therefore they perceived these things, they were sore afraid, and seeing also the host of Judas in the plain, ready to fight, they fled every one into the land of strangers. Then Judas returned to spoil the tents, where they got much gold and silver, and blue silk, and purple of the sea, and great riches. After this they went home, and sung a song of thanksgiving, and praised the Lord in heaven, because it is good, because his mercy endureth forever. Thus Israel had a great deliverance that day. Now all the strangers that had escaped came and told Lysias what had happened, who when he heard thereof was confounded and discouraged, because neither such things as he would were done unto Israel, nor such things as the king commanded him were come to pass. The next year, therefore, following, Lysias gathered together 70,000 choice men of foot, and 5,000 horsemen, that he might subdue them. So they came to Idumea, and pitched their tents at Bethsura, and Judas met them with 10,000 men. And when he saw that mighty army, he prayed and said, Blessed art thou, O Saviour of Israel, who didst quell the violence of the mighty man by the hand of thy servant David, and gavest the host of strangers into the hands of Jonathan the son of Saul and his armor-bearer. Shut up this army in the hand of thy people Israel, and let them be confounded in their power and horsemen. Make them to be of no courage, and cause the boldness of their strength to fall away, and let them quake at their destruction. Cast them down with the sword of them that love thee, and let all those that know thy name praise thee with thanksgiving. So they joined battle, and there was slain of the host of Lysias about 5,000 men. even before them were they slain. Now when Lysias saw his army put to flight, and the manliness of Judas's soldiers, and how they were ready either to live or die valiantly, he went into Antioch and gathered together a company of strangers, and having made his army greater than it was, he purposed to come again into Judea. Then said Judas and his brethren, Behold, our enemies are discomfited. Let us go up to cleanse and dedicate the sanctuary. Upon this, all the host assembled themselves together and went up into Mount Sion. And when they saw the sanctuary desolate, and the altar profaned, and the gates burned up, and shrubs growing in the courts as in a forest or in one of the mountains, yea, and the priests' chambers pulled down, they rent their clothes and made great lamentation, and cast ashes upon their heads, and fell down flat to the ground upon their faces, and blew an alarm with the trumpets, and cried toward heaven. Then Judas appointed certain men to fight against those that were in the fortress, until he had cleansed the sanctuary. So he chose priests of blameless conversation, and such as had pleasure in the law, who cleansed the sanctuary, and bare out the defiled stones into an unclean place. And when, as they had consulted what to do with the altar of burnt offerings, which was profaned, they thought it best to pull it down, lest it should be a reproach to them, because the heathen had defiled it. Wherefore they pulled it down, and laid up the stones in the mountain of the temple in a convenient place, until there should come a prophet to show what should be done with them. Then they took whole stones according to the law, and built a new altar according to the former, and made up the sanctuary and the things that were within the temple, and hallowed the courts. They made also new holy vessels, and into the temple they brought the candlestick, and the altar of burnt offerings, and of incense, and the table. And upon the altar they burned incense, and the lamps which were upon the candlestick they lighted, that they might give light in the temple. Furthermore they set the loaves upon the table, and spread out the veils, and finished all the works which they had begun to make. Now in the 25th day of the 9th month, which is called the month Caslu, in the 148th year, they rose up betimes in the morning, and offered sacrifice according to the law upon the new altar of burnt offerings which they had made. Look at what time and what day the heathen had profaned it, even in that it was dedicated with songs and citherns and harps and cymbals. Then all the people fell upon their faces, worshipping and praising the God of heaven, who had given them good success. And so they kept the dedication of the altar 8 days, and offered burnt offerings with gladness, and sacrificed the sacrifice of deliverance and praised. They decked also the forefront of the temple with crowns of gold and with shields, and the gates and the chambers they renewed, and hanged doors upon them. Thus was there very great gladness among the people, for that the reproach of the heathen was put away. Moreover, Judas and his brethren, with the whole congregation of Israel, ordained that the days of the dedication of the altar should be kept in their season from year to year by the space of 8 days, from the 25th day of the month Caslu, with mirth and gladness. At that time also they builded up the Mount Sion, with high walls and strong towers round about, lest the Gentiles should come and tread it down, as they had done before. And they set there a garrison to keep it, and fortified Bethsura to preserve it, that the people might have a defense against Idumea.
Fresh Direct, food that delivers you all season long.
Chapter 5. Now when the nations round about heard that the altar was built, and the sanctuary renewed as before, it displeased them very much. Wherefore they thought to destroy the generation of Jacob that was among them. And thereupon they began to slay and destroy the people. Then Judas fought against the children of Esau in Idumea at Arabatine, because they besieged Gaal. And he gave them a great overthrow, and abated their courage, and took their spoils. Also he remembered the injury of the children of Baalim, who had been a snare and an offense unto the people, in that they lay in wait for them in the ways. He shut them up therefore in the towers, and encamped against them, and destroyed them utterly, and burned the towers of that place with fire, and all that were therein. Afterward he passed over to the children of Ammon, where he found a mighty power and much people, with Timotheus their captain. So he fought many battles with them, till at length they were discomfited before him, and he smote them. And when he had taken Jazer with the towns belonging thereto, he returned into Judea. Then the heathen that were at Gilead assembled themselves together against the Israelites that were in their quarters to destroy them. But they fled to the fortress of Dathema, and sent letters unto Judas and his brethren. The heathen that are round about us are assembled together against us to destroy us, and they're preparing to come and take the fortress whereunto we are fled, Timotheus being captain of their host. Come now therefore, and deliver us from their hands, for many of us are slain. Yea, all our brethren that were in the places of Tobi are put to death. Their wives and their children also they have carried away captives, and borne away their stuff, and they have destroyed there about 1,000 men. While these letters were yet reading, behold, there came other messengers from Galilee with their clothes rent, who reported on this wise, and said, They of Ptolemais and of Tyrus and Sidon, and all Galilee of the Gentiles, are assembled together against us to consume us. Now when Judas and the people heard these words, there assembled a great congregation together, to consult what they should do for their brethren, that were in trouble, and assaulted of them. Then said Judas unto Simon his brother, Choose thee out men, and go and deliver thy brethren that are in Galilee. For I and Jonathan my brother will go into the country of Gilead. So he left Joseph the son of Zacharias, and Azarias captains of the people, with the remnant of the host in Judea to keep it. Unto whom he gave commandment, saying, Take ye the charge of this people, and see that ye make not war against the heathen, until the time that we come again. Now unto Simon were given 3,000.
See, that's why them did ban the Maccabees, because to what them teach you about the whole Jesus and the 12 disciples and the whole Bible, if you should read the Maccabees back in them days, you're bound to become to confusion, because then tell us that Judas is the man who betrayed Jesus and paint Judas as the wickedest, baddest man in history. And Judas is the man that bring righteous men to battle, to slew the pagans them, slew the Gentiles them, and restore all the tabernacles them. Not only in Jerusalem, but in Galilee and everywhere. Him go free God people them. You dig what me I say? So Judas they never really want you know about in the right way.
Men to go into Galilee, and unto Judas 8,000 men for the country of Gilead. Then went Simon into Galilee, where he fought many battles with the heathen, so that the heathen were discomfited by him. And he pursued them unto the gate of Ptolemais, and there were slain of the heathen about 3,000 men, whose spoils he took. And those that were in Galilee and Arbatis, with their wives and their children, and all they had, took he away with them, and brought them into Judea with great joy. Judas Maccabeus also and his brother Jonathan went over Jordan, and traveled 3 days' journey into the wilderness, where they met with the Nabathites, who came unto them in a peaceable manner, and told them everything that had happened to their brethren in the land of Gilead, and how that many of them were shut up in Bosra, and Bosor, and Alima, Casphor, Maked, and Karnaim. All these cities are strong and great, and that they were shut up in the rest of the cities of the country of Gilead, and that against tomorrow they had appointed to bring their hosts against the forts, and to take them, and to destroy them all in one day. Hereupon Judas and his host turned suddenly by the way of the wilderness unto Besora, and when he had won the city, he slew all the males with the edge of the sword, and took all their spoils, and burned the city with fire. From whence he removed by night, and went till he came to the fortress. And betimes in the morning they looked up, and behold, there was an innumerable people bearing ladders and other engines of war to take the fortress, for they assaulted them. When Judas therefore saw that the battle was begun, and that the cry of the city went up to heaven with trumpets and a great sound, he said unto his host, Fight this day for your brethren. So he went forth behind them in 3 companies, who sounded their trumpets, and cried with prayer. Then the host of Timotheus, knowing that it was Maccabeus, fled from him. Wherefore he smote them with a great slaughter, so that there were killed of them that day about 8,000 men. This done, Judas turned aside to Maspha, and after he had assaulted it, he took and slew all the males therein, and received the spoils thereof, and burnt it with fire. From thence went he, and took Casphon, Maged, Bosor, and the other cities of the country of Gilead. After these things gathered Timotheus another host, and encamped against Raphon beyond the brook. So Judas sent men to espy the host, who brought him word, saying, All the heathen that be round about us are assembled unto them, even a very great host. He hath also hired the Arabians to help them, and they have pitched their tents beyond the brook, ready to come and fight against thee. Upon this Judas went to meet them. Then Timotheus said unto the captains of his host, When Judas and his host come near the brook, if he pass over first unto us, we shall not be able to withstand him, for he will mightily prevail against us. But if he be afraid, and camp beyond the river, we shall go over unto him, and prevail against him. Now when Judas came near the brook, he caused the scribes of the people to remain by the brook, unto whom he gave commandment, saying, Suffer no man to remain in the camp, but let all come to the battle. So he went first over unto them, and all the people after him. Then all the heathen, being discomfited before him, cast away their weapons, and fled unto the temple that was at Carnaim. But they took the city, and burned the temple with all that were therein. Thus was Carnaim subdued, neither could they stand any longer before Judas. Then Judas gathered together all the Israelites that were in the country of Gilead, from the least unto the greatest, even their wives and their children and their stuff, a very great host, to the end that they might come into the land of Judea. Now when they came unto Ephron, this was a great city in the way as they should go, very well fortified. They could not turn from it, either on the right hand or the left, but must needs pass through the midst of it. Then they of the city shut them out, and stopped up the gates with stones. Whereupon Judas sent unto them in peaceable manner, saying, Let us pass through your land to go into our own country, and none shall do you any hurt. We will only pass through on foot. Howbeit, they would not open unto him. Wherefore Judas commanded a proclamation to be made throughout the host, that every man should pitch his tent in the place where he was. So the soldiers pitched, and assaulted the city all that day and all that night, till at length the city was delivered into his hands, who then slew all the males with the edge of the sword, and razed the city, and took the spoils thereof, and passed through the city over them that were slain. After this went they over Jordan into the great plain before Bethsan.
Have you ever thought about what happens to appliances that are sent back, returned for tiny scratches?
The Maccabee book is really Judas' book.
And Judas gathered together those that came behind and exhorted the people all the way through till they came into the land of Judea. So they went up to Mount Sion with joy and gladness, where they offered burnt offerings, because not one of them was slain until they had returned in peace. Now, what time as Judas and Jonathan were in the land of Gilead, and Simon his brother in Galilee before Ptolemais, Joseph the son of Zacharias and Azarias, captains of the garrisons, heard of the valiant acts and warlike deeds which they had done. Wherefore they said, Let us also get us a name, and go fight against the heathen that are round about us. So when they had given charge unto the garrison that was with them, they went toward Jamnia. Then came Gorgias and his men out of the city to fight against them. And so it was that Joseph and Azarias were put to flight, and pursued unto the borders of Judea. And there were slain that day of the people of Israel about 2,000 men. Thus was there a great overthrow among the children of Israel, because they were not obedient unto Judas and his brethren, but thought to do some valiant act. Moreover, these men came not of the seed of those by whose hand deliverance was given unto Israel. Howbeit the man Judas and his brethren were greatly renowned in the sight of all Israel, and of all the heathen, wheresoever their name was heard of, insomuch as the people assembled unto them with joyful acclamations. Afterward went Judas forth with his brethren, and fought against the children of Esau in the land toward the south, where he smote Hebron and the towns thereof, and pulled down the fortress of it, and burned the towers thereof round about. From thence he removed to go into the land of the Philistines.
You see why them not ban that book and lock up people for that book? Because them don't want to hear about the mighty Judas who take it to Babylon, man. It's come like, when the man fight for God, it come like, them man they never have no mercy upon them, man. Them man they slow every man and burn down how much city, how much heathen city, how much Satan city, them man go burn down. Not only kill them, burn them down. So that's why them did ban the book and lock up people for read that book, yeah. Judas, the Maccabees.
And passed through Samaria. At that time, certain priests, desirous to show their valor, were slain in battle, for that they went out to fight unadvisedly. So Judas turned to Azotus in the land of the Philistines, and when he had pulled down their altars, and burned their carved images with fire, and spoiled their cities, he returned into the land of Judea. Chapter 6. About that time, King Antiochus, traveling through the high countries, heard say that Elimaeus in the country of Persia was a city greatly renowned for riches, silver, and gold, and that there was in it a very rich temple, wherein were coverings of gold, and breastplates and shields, which Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian king, who reigned first among the Grecians, had left there. Wherefore he came, and sought to take the city, and to spoil it. But he was not able, because they of the city, having had warning thereof, rose up against him in battle. So he fled, and departed thence with great heaviness, and returned to Babylon. Moreover, there came one who brought him tidings into Persia, that the armies which went against the land of Judea were put to flight, and that Lysias, who went forth first with a great power, was driven away of the Jews, and that they were made strong by the armor and power and store of spoils which they had gotten of the armies whom they had destroyed. Also, that they had pulled down the abomination which he had set up upon the altar in Jerusalem, and that they had compassed about the sanctuary with high walls as before, and his city Bethsura. Now when the king heard these words, he was astonished, and sore moved. Whereupon he laid him down upon his bed, and fell sick for grief, because it had not befallen him as he looked for. And there he continued many days. for his grief was ever more and more, and he made account that he should die. Wherefore he called for all his friends, and said unto them, The sleep is gone from mine eyes, and my heart faileth for very care. And I thought with myself, Into what tribulation am I come? And how great a flood of misery is it wherein now I am? For I was bountiful and beloved in my power. But now I remember the evils that I did at Jerusalem, and that I took all the vessels of gold and silver that were therein, and sent to destroy the inhabitants of Judea without a cause. I perceive, therefore, that for this cause these troubles are come upon me. And behold, I perish through great grief in a strange land. Then called he for Philip, one of his friends, who he'd made ruler over all his realm, and gave him the crown and his robe and his signet, to the end he should bring up his son Antiochus, and nourish him up for the kingdom. So King Antiochus died there, in the 149th year. Now, when Lysias knew that the king was dead, he set up Antiochus his son, whom he had brought up, being young, to reign in his stead, and his name he called Jupiter. About this time, they that were in the tower shut up the Israelites round about the sanctuary, and sought always their hurt, and the strengthening of the heathen. Wherefore Judas, purposing to destroy them, called all the people together to besiege them. So they came together and besieged them in the 150th year, and he made mounts for shot against them, and other engines. Howbeit certain of them that were besieged got forth, unto whom some ungodly men of Israel joined themselves. And they went unto the king, and said, How long will it be ere thou execute judgment, and avenge our brethren? We have been willing to serve thy father, and to do as he would have us, and to obey his commandments, for which cause they of our nation besiege the tower, and are alienated from us. Moreover, as many of us as they could light on they slew, and spoiled our inheritance. Neither have they stretched out their hand against us only, but also against their borders. And behold, this day are they besieging the tower at Jerusalem to take it, the sanctuary also, and Bethsura have they fortified. Wherefore, if thou dost not prevent them quickly, they will do the greater things than these, neither shalt thou be able to rule them. Now when the king heard this, he was angry, and gathered together all his friends, and the captains of his army, and those that had charge of the horse. There came also unto him from other kingdoms, and from isles of the sea, bands of hired soldiers, so that the number of his army was 100,000 footmen, and 20,000 horsemen, and 32 elephants, exercised in battle. These went through Idumea, and pitched against Bethsura, which they assaulted many days, making engines of war. But they of Bethsura came out, and burned them with fire, and fought valiantly. Upon this Judas removed from the tower, and pitched in Bath Zacharias, over against the king's camp. Then the king, rising very early, marched fiercely with his host towards Bath Zacharias, where his armies made them ready to battle, and sounded the trumpets. And to the end they might provoke the elephants to fight, they showed them the blood of grapes and mulberries. Moreover, they divided the beasts among the armies. And for every elephant they appointed 1,000 men, armed with coats of mail, and with helmets of brass on their heads. And beside this, for every beast were ordained 500 horsemen of the best. These were ready at every occasion. Wheresoever the beast was, and wheresoever the beast went, they went also. Neither departed they from him. And upon the beasts were there strong towers of wood, which covered every one of them, and were girt fast unto them with devices. There were also upon every one 32 strong men that fought upon them, beside the Indian that ruled him. As for the remnant of the horsemen, they set them on this side and on that side at the two parts of the host, giving them signs what to do, and being harnessed all over amidst the ranks. Now when the sun shone upon the shields of gold and brass, the mountains glistered therewith, and shined like lamps of fire. So part
the whole moral of the Maccabees is, I tell you, Babylon, you take it too far. Even though they might do it in these days, but they might do it in a mental genocide. But back in them days there, the Babylon boy them used to ride armies, go destroy God people, them chop off people upon the temple, upon the altar, violate the tabernacle. So them couldn't want you know about Judas the right way. Judas are the only man we beat Babylon to sickness. Judas are the only man who war kill off the whole of the kingdom of Babylon and restore the tabernacle and the churches them today. So people could have it. So that's why them fight against Judas and give a story twisted about him.
The king's army, being spread upon the high mountains and part on the valleys below, they marched on safely and in order. Wherefore all that heard the noise of their multitude, and the marching of the company, and the rattling of the harness were moved, for the army was very great and mighty. Then Judas and his host drew near, and entered into battle. And there were slain of the king's army 600 men. Eleazar also, surnamed Savaran, perceiving that one of the beasts armed with royal harness was higher than all the rest, and supposing that the king was upon him, put himself in jeopardy to the end he might deliver his people and get him a perpetual name. Wherefore he ran upon him courageously through the midst of the battle, slaying on the right hand and on the left, so that they were divided from him on both sides. Which done, he crept under the elephant, and thrust him under, and slew him. Whereupon the elephant fell down upon him, and there he died.
The prices blow my mind.
Fierce.
Howbeit the rest of the Jews, seeing the strength of the king and the violence of his forces, turned away from them. Then the king's army went up to Jerusalem to meet them, and the king pitched his tents against Judea and against Mount Sion. But with them that were in Bethsura he made peace. For they came out of the city because they had no victuals there to endure the siege, it being a year of rest to the land. So the king took Bethsura, and set a garrison there to keep it. As for the sanctuary, he besieged it many days, and set there artillery with engines, and instruments to cast fire and stones, and pieces to cast darts and slings. Whereupon they also made engines against their engines, and held them in battle a long season. Yet at the last, their vessels being without victuals, for that it was the 7th year, and they in Judea that were delivered from the Gentiles had eaten up the residue of the store. There were but a few left in the sanctuary, because the famine did so prevail against them, that they were fain to disperse themselves, every man to his own place. At that time Lysias heard say that Philip, whom Antiochus the king, whilst he lived, had appointed to bring up his son Antiochus that he might be king, was returned out of Persia and Media, and the king's host also that went with him, and that he sought to take unto him the ruling of the affairs. Wherefore he went in all haste, and said to the king and the captains of the host and the company, We decay daily, and our victuals are but small, and the place we lay siege unto is strong, and the affairs of the kingdom lie upon us. Now, therefore, let us be friends with these men, and make peace with them, and with all their nation, and covenant with them that they shall live after their laws, as they did before. For they are therefore displeased, and have done all these things, because we abolished their laws. So the king and the princes were content. Wherefore he sent unto them to make peace, and they accepted thereof. Also the king and the princes made an oath unto them, whereupon they went out of the stronghold. Then the king entered into Mount Sion, but when he saw the strength of the place, he broke his oath that he had made, and gave commandment to pull down the wall round about. Afterward departed he in all haste, and returned unto Antioch, where he found Philip to be master of the city. So he fought against him, and took the city by force. Chapter 7. In the 151st year, Demetrius, the son of Seleucus, departed from Rome, and came up with a few men unto a city of the sea coast, and reigned there. And as he entered into the palace of his ancestors, so it was that his forces had taken Antiochus and Lysias to bring them unto him. Wherefore when he knew it, he said, Let me not see their faces. So his host slew them. Now, when Demetrius was set upon the throne of his kingdom, there came unto him all the wicked and ungodly men of Israel, having Alchemus, who was desirous to be high priest for them.
So that me I tell you say, the Almighty God give you power, key, dominion of all things. Not take side with good alone. Not take side with bad alone. You if you stand up in a middle, not take side with none. And you have power of all things. Because if a man come in your house, you kill your family, you're not slew him before you slew no. So that's why most of the people them back in the days, God people them stand up a dead pan battlefield a class and a pray and fight to defend themselves. And as he say, the devil come to kill, thief and destroy. That's why them not want you know about Judas. Them tell you lie about Judas. If you come here and say, yeah man, Judas beat Babylon man and restore the temple then.
Captain. And they accused the people to the king, saying, Judas and his brethren have slain all thy friends, and driven us out of our own land. Now therefore send some man whom thou trustest, and let him go and see what havoc he hath made among us, and in the king's land, and let him punish them with all them that aid them. Then the king chose Bacchides, a friend of the king, who ruled beyond the flood, and was a great man in the kingdom, and faithful to the king. And him he sent with that wicked Alchemus, whom he made high priest, and commanded that he should take vengeance on the children of Israel. So they departed, and came with a great power into the land of Judea, where they sent messengers to Judas and his brethren with
You understand on purpose now. When them hate black people and kill black people worldwide, we talk about the other nights them. Even today, them still have a vengeance. Why? Them just hate God people them. Anybody who love the Almighty God and seek to do the right thing and live upright, and that's a peace, love and unity for all, man. Them not like that. Because you have true, really, fully breaded devil people in the earth, my lord. You have fully breaded people who believe in the devil and work for the devil. We don't like God and him children them. Even today, the only thing is because them get a little bit. So now I try to use them brain to use one prime minister to infect a whole country. Where Universal Declaration of Law show we say the prime minister cannot sign no paper. If he say him sign it for we, him sign it for him and his wife and him pitney them. Because we not sign no petition. So anything what prime minister and president want to sign, that will be on the half of them. We don't know about that. So we need to start take some prime ministers and some presidents to court. All the people should have signed the petition to take them to court. Oh, because for them buckle is not for we buckle. Oh.
Peaceable words deceitfully. But they gave no heed to their words, for they saw that they were come with a great power. Then did they assemble unto Alchemus and Bacchides a company of scribes to require justice. Now the Assyrians were the first among the children of Israel that sought peace of them. For said they, One that is a priest of the seed of Aaron is come with his army, and he will do us no wrong. So he spake unto them peaceably, and sware unto them, saying, We will procure the harm neither of you nor of your friends. Whereupon they believed him. Howbeit he took of them 70 men, and slew them in one day, according to the words which he wrote. The flesh of thy saints have they cast out, and their blood have they shed round about Jerusalem, and there was none to bury them.
One see a method they use for Thanksgiving. That's why no fi embraces and empower Thanksgiving. And the same code them use to slew our people in Africa. The same code them use to slew the Israelites. Come among you, friend you, eat with you. Then wait for the perfect time that the devil, Perfect time for the slew you. Up till today, the attack is upon Israel. You understand? Which is I and I. The bloodline. When I talk about for them physical Israel or what them are twisted to be. The people them will seek God's face at all times, constantly. Every day we wake up, we seek God's face. We seeking his face, meaning we seek more wisdom and knowledge. We want to know more about him. You understand? Everybody with the prayer say, no, I know me who I listen to. Me is just a human being. It's just a word. What was God and still is God. And we want to have more knowledge to empower ourselves about the Almighty God. But therefore, the past is the past. But we still have to know many books and many different information from the past to, where we as a people coming from. So we have to be grateful today, because back in those days, when a Babylon king come in a town, man, them a kill everything and burn up everything and rape them for rape, take everything, You see how far we have come from? If we can look down at Israel and Palestine and Middle East, it's a kind of thing like what used to happen back then. Remember, Virgin man, them the pretty people have big house, upstairs house and can't live in there, Because be a bomber drop daily, And all them have to live like fox, Up till to the day, Babylon system still going, So where why are we killing each other today? Why are we holding down each other today? A good life we live now in modern time, Comparing to where we are come from to what used to happen to us, First time nobody couldn't say the Almighty, else I kill them, Publicly and privately, I saw King of Babylon used to rule and nobody can talk about the Almighty God. Nowhere. No Bible, nothing else than kill them. Straight. So you see, in this time, brethren, if you give thanks. Give thanks unto thanks and give thanks unto redemption. Give thanks unto the power. Give thanks unto the light. Give thanks unto the great Judas them. All our ancestors them who fought to restore the tabernacle and the temple them so we can come still know about the Almighty God even today. So right now them I use one little psychology war to get rid of the Almighty out of the kids them and create them cyber God, which is Google. So anything when people want them go search and know. But guess what them forget say? Them forget say the Almighty God living with DNA. And that them forget, them can't get rid of that. You understand how we say DNA, our DNA in all nation, all people. All for them full bred. Even on the side always full bred devil people. And on for them side full bred righteous people born in a feed them house. Some pitney born say, no, that is wrong. No, that's not me. Yes. And all of them pitney them can convert. Because remember saying, in front of the Almighty God, there's no color, there's no race, You know why there's no color and no race? You hear me speak, you hear it. You see it? It have a color. What is the color of a man's soul? No color. So the Almighty God don't see us as color. In vibe of our energy and our gift and our realization and the anointing what we get from birth. So that's why now, the only thing now for everyone hold in rightful place, if you know the rightful space, is to start give respect to the Godheads them. You understand? Which is the first people. Which is I and I. You dig what I say? And then that's the only way you're going to have peace in the temple. A temple without order shall be broken. We know that the Indian them, the Chinese them, all of them, we know say they are our little children. We create them. You understand? When we say we create them, we don't want nothing from them. Because we don't want wealth and riches on them. Something. We create wealth and riches. Them want it. That's why they're so greedy for it. They do anything to get it. That's why they think that they're robbing us. They keep signing papers and stealing or creation and things like that alone. So me unlock now. Unlock the code in it. We can know say a whole lot more things in you have to create your infinity. You can create 1 billion things before you left the earth. Zane, say if I well them around now, just continue being a creator. Create. Don't stop create. You dig what I say? And always know this. I want the Almighty God don't see us as color, right? But within this realms of the reality realms of life, we have to know say the white people them are we pitting them, the Chinese them are we pitting them, the Indian them are free we pitting them, and we are here to do what? Take care of them. They want wealth. That we control the earth, man, that we control wealth, that we control everything where you see them recreate, we create them before. The first place on earth for civilization is the Akabulan, Mama Africa. Remember, as the Moors go worldwide, go teach them about presidency, how a country is supposed to run. We teach them about herbs and spice. We teach them about barter. We teach them about in every system, even the fear system that America used today. Fear is a black man. It's fear system him use. Pharaoh is the black king where everyone will forward as slave. Him say, do you have a talent? And if you have a talent, he give you a nice house you live and give some people for rule over. Same thing America do. Anybody who have talent in buy them. You have Afro-American, this American, that, every that and that American. It's our law them, our system that for them system there. Measurement and scale of we system them. You dig what me I say? So who responds for the earth, the whole earth, them are we picnic them are we child. And notice that we don't hate them, we love them. We love them, you know, it's only when we think about slavery and them tell you what our foreparents them go through, most people are going at them ignorant state and thinking that is white people is the enemy. White people is not the enemy. Pharaoh was black. Pilate was black. Because them they so powerful and have the power, they feel say them a God. So them say them want to rule the world and think that the world it's small. That's why they do that rule, conquer, kill, rule, conquer, kill. You see me? So it starts from we. You dig what me I say? So you see how mix up common always a search for power. So the Maccabees actually telling you about who slew the Caiabonequanize all the kings of Babylon. They might tell you who slew the kings of Babylon. Judas. Them no one in the nation know about Judas. The mighty warrior there. You dig what me I say? You see me? Remember, man. The comforter never leave us, man. The son of the living God did already tell us, the Lion of Judah shall break every chain and give us the victory again and again. And what the Lion of Judah come tell us. Well, this last I tell us, say, even in the 20th century, David will slew Goliath. That means say right over wrong are David. Good over evil are David. Justice for all people are David. So nobody feel like it's a physical realms, neither is in the spiritual heights. The work of the Almighty God will never cease. Never. You understand me? I say you don't have to tell a baby what is right from wrong. Then feel it. You understand me? I say they know what is right from wrong. That means that the Spirit of the Lord live within man. So we don't have to do too much work. We don't have to hack up ourselves too much. Your duty and your job is to unlock the code and wipe off your penal glands. Where they educate you and teach you and know so you're a creator. Create something. You see me? Every man have to eat. Every man have the equal rights to live and to be free. But apart from when live on for free, it means if you beg people nothing, I live for free. The only free things I get in the earth is food, fruits and water. The earth give you that. But to create things for your comfort living, you have to create it yourself. You dig what I say? So every man on the face of the earth create something, my brothers and sisters. You know what I mean? Even if you have food, clothing and shelter, you can't go wrong. Blessed love I am. You can't go wrong in a food, clothing and shelter. Yeah, them there is a must, necessity. See? Those are the basic. So if you want ideas to create something, just create food, clothing, or something has to do with shelter. Because even though you have the house, you have to put things in there that make your life a little bit easy. You know what I mean? So those are where you look for your creativity to be wealthy. Yes, you can create things for birds, you can create things for animals. You know what I mean? Because people buy pets. You know what I mean? So just broaden your horizon. But I'm sure as the sun set, that if you create anything with clothing and food, you have to make you have to make money. Remember 8.1 billion people, them say them record worldwide. So once you create any clothing, I mean just create one little clothing where you see out there, come up with your creativity, man, come up with something new. We were royal kings and so we used to dress majestic and mighty and powerful. So all the designers them worldwide take on the head out of Gucci and Fendi and them foolishness the brethren. Make Fendi create for Fendi. And let Versace create for Versace. Even though black people, talent and black people ideas them are used around there. Saying, but them more lean it to the double standard side. Some tight up sitting and some rips up straps. You dig what I say? Kings can create for kings, queens create for queens. You dig what I say? The market is open, you're a creator, nobody stop you from create. Nobody can stop you from being wealthy. Just stop focus on people's business and focus on your business. Anything that you invite in your creative atmospheres must help. Are you seeking advice or confirmation? Because some of our brothers and sisters them have the vision and want to move forward, but them now get the push from them circle where them keep, whether it's family or friends. Don't stay around people who cannot push you. Don't stay around things that cannot push you. No matter of fact, you know, conquer wealth, so you don't need no partner. With a man or a woman or a girlfriend or boyfriend, we now push you, it don't make no sense. Push yourself, empower yourself. Gain all the wealth you need. You see me? Gain all the wealth you need to then go do it on your own then. You see me? If nobody not going to believe in you, I'm going to tell them, you have to believe in you. And when it come to pass, they're going to say, right, you know, you're sorry if you tell her that you're sorry, and sorry, me know what me want. Me know what I'm here for. You know? Discover the truth about yourself, about our ancestors. You dig what I say? Because everything what happened in the past is happening in the present today. It's only thing I might use it in a mental and a spiritual form. But the war between we and Babylon never over. It never over yet. Because them always a seek for hold on our people them. Always a seek for slaying we. We create everything and we for the tail of the food chain. That no make no sense, my lord. You see me says full time we have to stand up and claim and take a rightful place. When we say rightful place, we don't mean like take what them have, because we don't need what them have. Just know that you're a creator and start creating more things. That's why the earth has suffer so. Because them create them jobs. You see me? They create them jobs and you have create yourself a job. So if you are going to get up, come do the same cycle. You go to school, what you want to be? Lawyer, doctor, teacher, nurse, blah, blah, blah. So who going to invent new things? When last something new invented in the whole earth? How much 100 years now since something new invented? You dig what I say? There's a lot of things within to invent. So look within. Within, we cannot live without. Stop look outside. You dig what I say? So we could hear what Maccabees are saying a little more there. You know what I say? The great king this.
Wherefore, the fear and dread of them fell upon all the people, who said, There is neither truth nor righteousness in them, for they have broken the covenant and oath that they made. After this removed Maccabee from Jerusalem, and pitched his tents in Bezeth, where he sent and took many of the men that had forsaken him, and certain of the people also. And when he had slain them, he cast them into the great pit. Then committed he the country to Alchemist, and left him a power to aid him. So Bacchides went to the king, but Alchemist contended for the high priesthood. And unto him resorted all such as troubled the people, who, after they had gotten the land of Judah into their power, did much hurt in Israel. Now when Judas saw all the mischief that Alchemist and his company had done among the Israelites, even above the heathen, he went out into all the coasts of Judea round about, and took vengeance of them that had revolted from him, so that they durst no more go forth into the country. On the other side, when Alchemist saw that Judas and his company had gotten the upper hand, and knew that he was not able to abide their force, he went again to the king, and said all the worst of them that he could. Then the king sent Nicanor, one of his honorable princes, a man that bare deadly hate unto Israel, with commandment to destroy the people. So Nicanor came to Jerusalem with a great force, and sent unto Judas and his brethren deceitfully, with friendly words, saying, Let there be no battle between me and you. I will come with a few men, that I may see you in peace. He came therefore to Judas, and they saluted one another peaceably. Howbeit the enemies were prepared to take away Judas by violence, which thing, after it was known to Judas, to wit, that he came unto him with deceit, he was sore afraid of him, and would see his face no more. Nicanor also, when he saw that his counsel was discovered, went out to fight against Judas beside Caphasalama, where there was slain of Nicanor's side about 5,000 men, and the rest fled into the city of David. After this went Nicanor up to Mount Sion, and there came out of the sanctuary certain of the priests and certain of the elders of the people to salute him peaceably, and to show him the burnt sacrifice that was offered for the king. But he mocked them, and laughed at them, and abused them shamefully, and spake proudly, and sware in his wrath, saying, Unless Judas and his host be now delivered into my hands, if ever I come again in safety, I will burn up this house. And with that he went out in a great rage. Then the priests entered in, and stood before the altar and the temple, weeping and saying, Thou, O Lord, didst choose this house to be called by thy name, and to be a house of prayer and petition for thy people. Be avenged of this man and his host, and let them fall by the sword. Remember their blasphemies, and suffer them not to continue any longer. So Nicanor went out of Jerusalem, pitched his tents in Beth-horon, where an host out of Syria met him. But Judas pitched in Edessa with 3,000 men. And there he prayed, saying, O Lord, when they that were sent from the king of the Assyrians blasphemed, thine angel went out, and smote 184,500 of them. Even so, destroy thou this host before us this day, that the rest may know that he hath spoken blasphemously against thy sanctuary, and judge thou him according to his wickedness. So the 13th day of the month Adar, the hosts joined battle. But Nicanor's host was discomfited, and he himself was first slain in the battle. Now when Nicanor's host saw that he was slain, they cast away their weapons and fled. Then they pursued after them a day's journey from Edessa unto Gazara, sounding an alarm after them with their trumpets. Whereupon they came forth out of all the towns of Judea round about, and closed them in, so that they, turning back upon them that pursued them, were all slain with the sword, and not one of them was left. Afterwards they took the spoils and the prey, and smote off Nicanor's head, and his right hand, which he stretched out so proudly, and brought them away and hanged them up toward Jerusalem. For this cause the people rejoiced greatly, and they kept that day a day of great gladness. Moreover, they ordained to keep yearly this day, being the 13th of Adar. Thus the land of Judah was in rest a little while.
A little while. The war between them and Babylon.
Chapter 8. Now Judah.
So what me I say, we can't get comfortable in Babylon, and plus what we get comfortable for anyway. Because decades Babylon are rule with. And a fool with. Because the mental genocide where Babylon are using now, and the mental murder and rape are using now, is a witchcraft thing. Where are really black people are rape them one another, black people are kill them one another. You ever hear say no white man are coming on the Caribbeans them, Africa, and a shoot with gun in front of the face like boom 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 boom. No. Uno kill yourself. Where that come from? Where the hatred for yourself come from? Where the hate come from among brothers and sisters where no one is perfect, no, man we make mistake. So where's the heart of forgiveness? Where's the heart of realization that we are not perfect and we are searching for the truth, and we all are discomforted sometimes by the ways of Babylon education and them religion and the confusion what them put up on we, the misidentity what them teach we, the water what them give if we drink, the food what them give if we eat, the movies what them give if we watch come out with be a spell. The movie them wanna watch sometime, we have to be careful of the words I want to make going on the head and on the ears. Anytime you see them are going on a ritual and you them make some chant, turn off on the TV and mute it. Don't make them sound they go through the house. You change the frequency and invite one different energy in our house. And it might sound like a joke, but if you study words, sound and power. You will see God face, we only watch a movie where, because one time me and my empress I skip through the movie them. We look for based on true life story and study the titles them. You understand me I say? And then we will a vibe. Because why? Because we know say from you can't see it, it can happen. So then tell us say movie affliction. But okay, movie affliction and in real. And the first time we see a cell phone, it's in a movie. And the first time we see a super car at night, rather it's in a movie. So what that I tell us say, Babylon now use movie as a craft to send out the information mentally and spiritually and physically through the earth. In telling us amusement. You dig what me I say? But it's full time we start our movement and allow Babylon to go what for them own amusement. Why you think Babylon rich and comfortable so and can create the evil things to the earth for Israelite them destroy themselves, which is black people me I talk about. Because them have it as joke. Them I say all them people can't see themselves. Look how much years. 6,000 years straight now we can't see ourselves. We can't see say all is created by us. So wait, what about one little paper and one pen? How no love sign we want to write, so? How no love give one own, so? For what? For what? Money? You know we make money? Man make money. You know, no one looking at yourself and say something really wrong. Everything that people enjoy mostly, especially in the food chain, like what I said, the fast food, however you want to call it, they're created by us, but they're not owned by us. You understand me? I say herbs and spices, the more them bring salt, seasoning salt, thyme, escallion, and the more them bring it to the whole world. But they know about there something there. You dig what me I say? You know, if you know, me not go through the simple things, them, you know. We just picture on ourselves, say the world, I feel it. But guess what now? We stop create because we are educated not to create. You see me I say? So, me feel like we can have a better world right now, today. But I just start creating some more things for the world. Because they make mistake of give internet, you know. And the worst thing they could ever do. You know? So sometimes, you know, Babylon saying smart, but he over smart. You see me? So we have to just look on the little gap them and fill them. Stop work for Babylon. Work for yourself. Create things and let money be your slave. You dig what me I say? Since I got money Babylon want to say, if you don't have no hand on nobody, just make money show them. Anyway, you can think of, because you know that, right? You can make money. You can either work it or print it. Because what you say, a machine print money? I don't know if you beat Babylon in a bridge, and I'm telling them, and you about Jamaica did this somewhere, and I'm going to say New Jersey, what did I print the US them? I print some US and I make the poor youth them, make sure you say black man are wicked, you know, to themselves, you know. Them said that Jamaican they did a print, all you have to do is give money to buy. I want I got them, you know, the man clean. All you have to do is find a money to buy the paper them and the ink or whatever. So a man say, we want a house, how much feet? A man say 200,000. So alright, if they go cost it to the paper and the ink work, alright, boom, print it, and them get them house, get them house. You know who sell out the man? His best friend. And when he go to prison, his best friend a cry say no know why he do it. What do you mean you don't know why you do it? The man help you buy your house and I help people buy your house and I help you and free up on yourself. And uno go slow a king like that, brethren. I know a king you slow yourself, you know. Yourself you slow. So money for money they make, who make money? Why you have to work and slave and kill your brother for something that is man-made? You don't make yourself then? Why you know the right material to make it cannot be fake, you know? Can gold fake? If you can make gold and you make real gold, can gold fake? You can't fake. So man-made law enough to stop you at this, at the key for everything. You dig what I say? But why we love fight against we, so? Eh? Why? And guess who the man did that print the money them? Is a Jamaican too, you know? He's a Jamaican. And who sell him out? Him best friend. For what? Not at all. You don't know why he call the feds them. For now he can't tell. Can't tell why he sell out a man like that. For that man there come beat Babylon like Judas. And you know I go sell out a youth like that. Because youth them can't say, well, if you kill my brother them over money. And murder people over money and work so hard over money. And we can't make it. Blessed love in the Mark 10. You dig what me I say? Is a Jamaican man. Did they ask them about the man in the Jamaican man in Jersey where they build the US them? Anyone in Belgium. Anyone. Beat any bank system, anything, them couldn't detect it. So one of your wise, on our kings, on our God, on our goddess, stop one like on our idiot. You see me? On stop kill off one another full time for rule earth. Create something. Do you go me I say? Create something. You see me? Because everything what we create in Babylon, they can't create nothing more than recite it. We create cell phone, give them now, we make newer model and newer type. You understand me? I say Marcus Garvey build them tire. Say rubber and air. They are the same tire them I build up till today. The only thing them divided, make different companies. And then lock up Marcus Garvey and dip him. Can't tell lies. Say they want the 10 ship company. When I say is a 10 ship company is one. So then they put him. You understand me? I say, so how the one Goodyear tire Marcus Garvey make? You know have Ferrelli, you know have Maxis. The amount of different tire you know have. And one company that. You see me I say? I say this to say, if you're wise. You dig what me I say? If you're wise. Dig what me I say? Every man creates something, man. See me? I'm going to stop the Maccabees just for right now till later or tomorrow again. Because you don't know, you have no family, you have no work to go about. But you know, me like, all the reason in power, if you know, say, yo, stop thinking about Babylon, stop looking at the things that are outside there in front of you. Look within, create something. Get a pen and paper, start draw, get pencil and start draw something. Create something. The three main things, food, clothing and shelter, them that have to sell. Food and clothes have to sell. You understand me? I say, footwear. Enough little things you can create. You dig what me I say? Remember saying no Babylon I recycle things so you can make some shoes where look different. So you can't always make one sit near ugly look space and them a laugh. And they take on to the world. And are the only shoes that was set for that the shoes that break the code of sales in the whole world. One ugly same thing. For sure I say we is who we are God. We are goddess, we are creator. So somebody one of you can draw one ugly shoes and come up with something. Ugly African US. Money did a work from 9 to 5 and you can't soon wear tune us a work for bills. Brethren, you don't stop slave, you are not slaves. You are creators. You are God and Goddess. Create by Almighty God and Almighty Goddess. That's simple the message what me I say. You see me? Then can't beat creativity. I remember, you know, black man always jealous of black man, you know. I look on Jay-Z them and the P. Diddy them or whatever what they did before Conway. Zane? Them did we don't know what them car we can make only can go by alleged. Then say them sell soul or whatever they sell. I said them rich and powerful. And the key is in creativity. And Kanye West does alright then. Me show you. Create and surpass them little billions of them I talk about. Look on Rihanna. Then it have she a slave like donkey a carry water. Tour. She does, you know, so she find the key. And she says she a goddess. Fenty clothesline on now no bombard. Fenty shoes on now no bombard. How about that? When Rihanna can't create things, what she become? Billionaire what? Overnight. So no no see the key and know what me I say. To be wealthy and rich is be creative. Creativity bring wealth. Create something. You don't have to work for Babylon. You don't have to work for Babylon to achieve. Lie them I tell you no work and sweat and grey, but them a give me that this person work with my company for 40 years. And here you are cry with tears. No, thank God. No, thank no God. And no God do that. I devil slew you. I devil trick you. God give you a brain to create things. God make you here to create things. So if you know that you're a creator, go create something. So you can make billions, but so you can enjoy your little young life. You know, if you sacrifice nothing that way there for we. Look one more. You know, see the black actors them actresses them come out of Hollywood a ball now. I cry. One in this I cry for. Cry for us. So you think Babylon don't treat you think you're special? You think Babylon don't treat you different? You think Babylon are gonna give you more opportunity and pay you well over for them blue Adamites eye them? No, my sister. Come here, one of them come out and cry. Say they not get no money, and if them get 10 million, you assume they look like 10 million, but when they don't pay a bill and stuff, they don't have nothing left. Why would you want to be a slave in this time when you're a goddess and you're a god? Go create something, have your own logo, you have your own fingerprint. Create something. See, Kanye West do it there. Uno look Babylon paint it as a fact. If you say I'm a madman, I'm a eater and whatever. And we are look on we brother. And us say is a god that. In spite of the fact that they use him as he say, and they make a sacrifice his mother. Okay. We know that wrong, but it passed and gone. So what him going to become now? For redemption. He becomes immortal. He becomes immortal. With an example so the earth can look upon. He's a creator. See Adidas and everything what drop him have a screechy back door can sign him back. Silently. A good thing people over a little bit. Because them never make so much money yet from them existing on the earth. Look how long Adidas and Puma them did there. And they never yet see so much money until Kanye West and Rihanna signed to them. But Rihanna didn't create. She just put her name on it and it's come out to sell. He done. And Rihanna said, then if me can put my name on her shoes. And it come out to sell. What billionaire you look on me, Rihanna, give Rihanna 2%? Rihanna's alright. Watch me on Fenty on no bombard. Fenty for days. Fenty for years. Rihanna don't know her money right now. Creativity. Look on the code, no man. Create something. You can create the same slippers and the same shoes and the same shirt, but different. With a difference. I'm just saying. Shoes exist already, but with your creativity to it, you know, but there's more things to create. Sit down, think. I'm sure. You know what you can create to a game too, you know. Like people who make checkers and domino and Monopoly. You can create a game too, you know. You see what things you can create to make it? The internet, the people will buy it. They show them how you deal with it. You dig what me I say? Yeah, man. Empower yourself, man. You're not creators, man. You're not a slave. The only thing for a slave for you know is your money. You can start from today. You can bank on $500 and just make it go and turn over, so. For a fixed deposit. Even though they don't give you much. But make it go and turn. Because you know so that your life save. You know not go touch that. You have other money. Make your money start slave from now. Create some little slaves, which is money. So till you reach and create something. So when you create something now, you pay yourself 10% of that, and the 10% of that are your slave. Make that go and work. I remember say when you make it, always give to charity. Always empower charity. Don't be a menace to society or the people or to the universe. Remember to have a charity in your heart. Please. I beg you, do. On your way up, you don't have to give nobody nothing. You don't have to give you nothing. If a person hungry, you give him food, and if somebody thirsty, you give them water. Don't show off. Don't show off and give away what you cannot give away. You understand me? I say you have to know the law of kindness and the law of giving. You're not fully structured. You don't have no foundation on the earth, so you're not to give away nothing. You understand? And if you bring a man in a king in your life, a woman if you bring, and if you bring a woman if you bring a king in your life, and king if you bring a queen in your life, and them know say you have $1 million in your account, and you hear them a plan for dry it out, just a dry it out without a plan to increase it, leave that person. Whether they do it purpose or on purpose, you don't need those people around you. You need minds around you who can build each other. If a woman comes to you with $1 million, see, and claims she rate you and I think futuristic, she's supposed to bring thoughts and ideas so we can turn that $1 million into $20 million in 5 years' time. You know, why would you waste time with somebody who want to hairstyle out your money? And I tell her, I say, mama sick, all of a sudden mother sick, brother sick, all of a sudden just to take out your money. If you do what? That's not helping you, virgin. Anything when I help you and believe that's an enemy, you know. See? Because she could have get more than that if she put in the work, not even physically. Just her mind as a goddess, with your mind as a god, and to create something. The $1 million is there, that's a start to foster any company, any business. So why would somebody be stupid enough to take out $1 million to throw it to waste? For weak in you and weak in she. You dig what I say? So we have to have code, blessed is he who have a partner who already have a start. Because that start is not too big a start, but is a start to many starts. You dig what I say? Blessed is he who get couple $1 million from them father and mother will pass on. Because that's a start. That's a foundation. But you know, if you get nothing from nobody, the only thing you need, my friend, is a great idea. Anybody will sponsor a great idea. Because once a great king hear it, your idea, you must say, right, if me not do it, somebody else I go do it. Me will help you because I want to be a part of the glory. You dig what I say? So now they say that, man. Wealth lies in creativity. And if they're right in front of your eyes, you can see it. Can you imagine Babylon can't create nothing more, but all they do is recycle what we give them? Shoes, but it's a different style. Food, but with different sauce and spice. Clothes, but it's a different style. Cars, but it's a different style. Cell phone, different style. We give them fridge, new fridge every day at the same damn fridge, different style. Different name, different company. You see the Jews them wicked? See Judas them wicked? The fake Jews them? Same fridge, you know? Different name, different company. Guess how for company? Them brother, them sister, them cousin, them great grand pitney. So I'm to we. Wham to we. We never heard. Black Pint and Samsung I see him company. I see him. I couldn't that thing see what I want. You know see what I want? Them have as market shares, idiot. You dig what I say? It over now, man. Give thanks, you know, Cameron. Bless the love and light. Give thanks. For the giving of thanks. You see me I say? Give thanks. So that me I say those things if you look, you know, if you smile, you know, if you rejoice. No worry and fret about nothing. Nothing at all enough to worry about. Mankind don't make no worry about nothing, my brother and sister. Just smile now that you have the quote. Say, oh, so if you have wealth and even more wealthy than them, I just create something. Yes, I 8.1 people. They record in Earth 2023. So 2024 I go to more. 8.1 billion people. I'm sure no say all you need to survive a problem 1 million US. Out of the 8.1 you just want 1 billion of you. And it's possible. It's possible by creating something to sell. You see, look on Kanye and put out the shoes in the years, how much billion? 6 billion. Worldwide they make off of one of shoes. 6 billion in 8.8 billion people in the world. Everybody in the earth want to wear one of your product and be a part of your product. That's how rich it is. The whole world. Africa alone can get those billions. Because that's why I say I don't think them right when they make the record. Because Africa is a continent. I mean, some more than 8 billion people in Africa alone. But just give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm just saying, create something, my brother. Create something, my sister. You first wear it. You first use it. Show you how it's done. And we're not going to only buy it because we love it. We're going to support you as a creator. You dig what me I say? Untouchable, blessed love. You see me? Yes, man. So that me I say, my brother, alright, they say them, I code that, man. Create something. Escape Babylon. You see me I say, yo, hey, Babylon, we kid it up. That's why I finish the Maccabees, because I show you from them time there. When Babylon used to take out physical attack against God people. They really used to go to countries and villages and murder people because they love God. Because they want the devil to rule the whole earth. So them said the devil say him rule the whole earth now by the Pope sit up in the throne saying him represent Jesus Christ. Fine, Jesus Christ is done on Angelo, a phone of Jesus Christ, a phone of business. But that not stop it from create. Because anyway, God there, creation did it. Why you think, alright, if we are not the true children of God, right? Why them always there in the Caribbean and Africa? Why the Chinese them? Why Europeans them always in our country? You don't know why? They know they can't suffer. They know they can't suffer once they're around it. In fact, a Chinese man say, you know, no problem going to hell. As long as a Jamaican did it, ensure no say I come out and get AC installed. You might look upon it and laugh like it's a joke. It's not a joke. Them know what they must say. You dig what me I say? That's how much they believe in a way. Then if we don't have anything, bro, why the Chinese them set up shops in the all African country and all the Caribbeans, and why? They know they're safe. They know they must make money. Because we are a creative set of people. You understand me I say? You know? The way, Virgin, where you think my people them love parties so me G? Are we DNA, you know? The amount of work we go through and the amount of murder and death and the amount of abuse where we get as God people from that time until this time. The amount of blood are dripping on the street daily. And they say we're closer to heaven when we party. I'm not talking about the lyrical content. I'm just saying them love to drink and party and fun like them feel like them in a Zion. That's why the 1-2 music and praising the Almighty is always the one up they come sing and chant. Sing a song where empower you towards your journey and, you know what I mean, break down the walls of struggle, break down the walls of sufferation, break down the walls of lack of things. You dig what me I say? That's why me I say this is 2024 when I drop my album. Different album called you my meditation shop. So I don't know, so anytime I drop any music, anything when me touch after today, a different type of heights me depend. Empowering my brother and sister them that was before me and empowering their work. You understand? Because and everybody will get it. Greater David, greater son. You dig what me I say, but we have to educate each other and willing to share information with any chanter. But we still have to be careful. You see, when you're rising and you feel whatever you do, you have to be careful of your brothers and your sisters. You understand? Because then we mess you up before you reach to the heights. You dig what me I say? Yeah, then we mess you up. So empower yourself first and pray to the Almighty if you send the right people at the right time around you. And He's seers of the earth, I'm talking the divine people of the earth, the one them where they say them a physician, and the one them where say them discern. Please, when you see the kings and queens them arise, please help them. Help them and clear the passage, not only for you or for them, but for the earth and for the benefit of the universe and for the will of God. and help and protect them, because some of them never have to make certain mistakes. But then I have no wise men and advisors around them. And a man is just a man. A man will act how him feel, especially when he feel powerful and mighty and rich. You think what I say? So we need moderation in everything what we do, but always just remember that you're a creator. You know what I mean? Yes. Let me see what time I know. Who figure go work, and who figure bless up them children, and who figure create. Alright, don't believe yourself, you have to get my pen and paper, you know. Yeah. And when I remember, the code when you create something, always please, if you can create a dollar value, something that is value a dollar, a US dollar. That simply means say anyone can buy it. The one of them say poor and the one of them say have it and the one of more than have it. You know, but once it's of good use in the household or in whatever it is, people gonna buy it. You understand me? I say because a man who pay more than what a shirt worth because of a brand with the money, he's stupid. He's stupid. He's very stupid. So don't take me black children off the earth. Please don't take no $10,000 buy no one shirt. Boy name Gucci or Fendi because something the money. Because you only can wear that shirt one time. How much 6,000 US you have? How many times do you change your shirt? That ain't that silly? Did I have to tell you that silly? Why you gonna buy your shoes for 10,000 US for? How much time you're gonna wear the shoes? You know what pitney out the hungry? You know the earth? 10,000 US for what? Why is that, man? Are we if you create something and sell them for 10,000 US? Are we if you do that? Not them I do that to we. That don't make no sense. Why I say you come here and say your 10,000 US shirt, you better than for me $1 shirt? You must be sick in the head. A shirt not give me value. A me give value shirt. I say a me give shirt value. You think me? When you can remember, you know, a hat is a hat, you know. But when a king put it on, is a crown. A chair is a chair. But when I sit up in it, it becomes what? A throne. That means say, we make the chair a throne. And we make the gold a crown. Not the other way around. You know what I'm saying? So know thyself. And when you know thyself, you will know when you stand up mighty. Mighty earth. You don't go to the smile and say, all things work in the favor of me today. All powers that be will work in the favor of me. Come on the wind, come on the rain, come on the snow, come on the come on everything. You have the key. You the Almighty give authority over everything. Every car will pass a fear. Every house will build a fear. You understand? You have to just know say your Almighty God build them. All of them come from within. So since all you need to do a chat out and say which part you want to build your mansion or if you go there. Because you know he's a creator already. If that's what it takes to make money, you know. You know suppose to think about which part of the earth you want to reside. Where you want to build a family foundation. Because once you're born with this and you can't think, you is a billionaire. Once you can think, you is a billionaire. Because once you can think, you can create. And you're a thinking center. Do you know what I say? Yes. Do things, family. Blessed love, Scorpion Queen. Blessed love and light to the whole of you want to come through. You know. Do you know what I say? Yeah. So just that me there. I want everybody to know that. You know what I mean? Smile. Smile. Don't worry about nothing. You are a creator. Create something. Yeah, man. Create something. And then one have to know too, you know. We have some companies out there on the internet where you don't really have to make the things physically. All you have to do is create a design. I have some merchandise where you just put your logo upon too. And people buy it. You dig what I say? And you still make your percentage. You understand? But I'm saying to be fully control of your creation, with the best you start from where you're there. Use material where you know the run if you create it. So you can create jobs for yourself and the community and your country. You know what I mean? Yeah. Cause all of them Chinese man they don't in the Caribbean them do. Tell the Chinese man them, cause some little pit who go to school and make watch and cell phone. Tell them say. That's why I say we need the trading center them to come down and tell them Chinese they say. When you come down and teach you pit them to make watch. Pan in spare time when them go to school. When you want to do something to the Caribbean and the African countries them, teach the pit them how to make watches. Technology. Chinese people will stay away from our food. He said them nothing touch on no food. Are terrible people when it comes to food. But you see the technology will be like the watches and the cell phones and the computer, whatever. Yeah, if we don't really mean the Caribbean anything, Chinese people, if we don't mean the Caribbean and African country anything, set up shop and teach them to make watches and computer parts. Then, you see what I say? Then, oh God, what more they want from we, man? Actually, they know say we are God and Goddess, man. They know say from the run with them have to survive. You see it? We love everybody, everything in the earth except ourselves. You see me? So we have to learn to love ourselves, you know what I mean? We have to love ourselves. I hope we get there one day, you know what I mean? I strongly believe in a way, so we can get there one day when we can glorify our brother and glorify our sister, love our brother and love our sister, and in no way or no form we ever think of hurting each other. Because we already know we are not perfect, right? And anyone can make mistakes. So therefore you have to have a heart of forgiveness. Because once you can forgive the great slave masters them, and once you can forgive other nation and live with other nation, why you can't forgive ourselves, my black people? Why? We can't forgive each other, man. We're not perfect. We're not perfect, you know. We're not perfect. Because we just have come closer to the truth now. We have come to realization now. If you know, say, and we name civilization. And we civilize them once, and we civilize them again, and we can civilize them again and again and again and again. And tomorrow we are going to make them happy. We think put smile on them face every day. Who are the great actors, who are the comedians, who are the athletes, who are the entertainers globally. I don't say them not have for them entertainers, I'm not saying that, you know. But me I talk about in the mainstream, who actually have this raw talent gift to touch souls. Then who getting less pay? Then if it's us, who getting less pay? Every day we give them love. Every day we give them something to smile. Every day we put on our clothes and watch how we dress and then go buy it and dress like we too. So who do these people look up to? Us. So why can't we look up to ourselves? You know what I mean? You know, say Marvel, come have some English friend and some Chinese. And then when me are talking to them, I wonder, oh, how on earth? When them tell me how them family is structured, and me tell them how my own structured, I say, how that? One of them take a phone and call and say, let me show you something. That I'm English man and he call him brother and him, you know what I say in our language, and he say, I need 100,000 to borrow. The only thing he can, 100,000 US, the only thing he can tell him brother, you know, the day when he will get it back. That's all he want to hear. When he will get it back. Them seriously help out each other. We are the only nation right now we can call and get 100,000 US to borrow right now, today. All if your brother and sister have it, him not go lend me, they not go give. Because you can't blame them either, because them themselves, you know, wonder if they will get it back or how they will get it back or whatever, you know what I mean? Because lazy men tend to turn to evil. Lazy men tend to give up and commit suicide, because if you say you're a scammer, that's automatically you're committing a suicide. You're being suicidal. And if you say you're a killer, you're being suicidal. And if you say you're dealing with badness, you're a suicide. You see me? All we was born to do is be a creator. You know what I mean? That's it. That's how we can fulfill our life in abundance. By creating towards life something that is going to last. Or tap into the abundance. You dig what I say? Yeah, big up all of the chant of them, you know what I mean? And Jamaica. Please. You know, run God out of Jamaica. Jamaica is God Almighty office, and 2 incidents were happening last night. At a gospel concert, gunman or whoever, it must be a gunman, killed 5 persons at a gospel concert. Can you imagine? We're not supposed to worship God and pull people closer to God. Gunman does have power to come fire shot and kill 5 people. Jamaica. No look good. But anyway, you know, let the dead bury them dead. You know, no understand what the Son of the Living God mean. Mean like for to choose the devil and choose badness, you know, walking dead. So the dead will have to bury them dead. Excuse me. See me? So blessed love and light to all, and me I say I kind of vibe later. Me feel like come on later it will be 9:30. Depends on the energy what me I hold, and depends on the vibration. You dig what me I say, but definitely in the morning 8 a.m. me there. I go and hold a vibe. I think as long as God, the Almighty God prepare this time, I'm gonna get busy with my creation. And even when I get busy with my creation, me still I go do that programming, because we need to share information. And me invite anyone on the platform that has information to share towards the light and the will of God and the will of mankind. As long as it's a balance. I'm willing for reason with any man. You understand me? I say anyone, any sister, any brother. You dig what me I say? Yeah. You have to redeem yourself, right? You know that, we are all one. You see how me always a smile, why me always a smile? Because I see the victory. I see the victory. I see it like how the sun arise. So we are going to overcome this one day. We see it. When I say overcoming, I don't talk like when Martin Luther King and them man they depending on. And that me depending on. I mean, you are going to see say you create the universe. Everything about you create it. You're going to find a comfort if you say, don't me that thing say me have to work and get the best pay and good pay if you have it. No, I know that. If you work, you have to pay your mortgage and all sorts of things. When you're dead mortgage are done, you can't work to get nothing in this world. You have to create your own things. I me say look for Rihanna. Rihanna used to tour and sing. You think she don't love singing? She loves singing, But guess what? She find out say when it come to the contracts and the work part, she was singing. Yeah, matter when she go drop album. She a human too. She want to raise her family. She don't need album to survive. No. Fendi panty. Fendi makeup. Hey, when Rihanna don't do this. So if Rihanna can't do that, what about you? Rihanna you might say she's a superstar and she has fans worldwide. That is lazy excuse. You are a superstar. From you're born and you exist in the earth. You start selling little shoes from when you make it and create it. From your family to your community to your country. And the same artists them where you support, think of them when you create. That means when you bring a shirt, go give you feel. Because who you think the Jamaican look to? The rappers them look to us. You don't need any rappers to wear a thing. And you're easy to deal with we as Jamaican artists. We not charge you. Overseas rappers, managers know the power of them, so you have to pay one whole for money. You give me one shirt where you make or something and we just wear it and make you do your video and we say, big up Ray Tete and we are the biggest designer around here. You see how we are clean and the biggest designer around here, Ray. And just run with it on your social media. And just you, when you boss and make your millions, now you come pay respect back to the artist and give him piece of food. Because you know how we that, we're full of love. Once a few brother in Jamaica make the shoes, you look on Baba roots. Look on Zion roots. None of we don't know Baba and Zion personally. But we buy it and we know say it's a Jamaican. And him a think about health. We sing about Zion roots and Baba roots without even meeting them. And make them brand big worldwide. That's the love where we have. So that me I tell you say you don't have to be a Rihanna to create something. Start with your community. Start with your country. Once it's good for one, it's good for all. It's simple. Blessed love and light.